Hi, this is Sheila Stromberg, Notorious SHE. I am making a video today for a tutorial just on how to finish your Sunshine Camisole. As you can see, I'm kind of in the midst of the work. I've just finished joining and I worked a couple of inches of length after joining the cups. I like to finish the top of the work before I proceed because I actually really like to be able to try the work on as I'm going. So if you are the same, go ahead and do that. I'm just going to kind of put the working yarn over to the side and put it on pause. So you'll need a fresh ball of yarn because we want one obviously that's not connected to the work already. The yarn I'm using for this tutorial today is this. It's a Riva, and then it's just like a cotton, recycled cotton fiber. If you like the yarn. So I'm going to show you two ways to do this. We can do it either knit or crochet. If we're going to do it knit, we're going to use I-cord to finish the edges. So what I like to do is pick my double point needles. That's about 2 sizes smaller than my gauge needles. So my gauge on this one, I'm using size 5. For my double point needles, I'm using a size 3. So you're going to go ahead and cast on 3 stitches. I like to work one round of I-cord before I begin attaching it to the work. We're going to work what is called an applied I-cord for this. So work one row like that. All right, now before we proceed, we're going to get the work ready. So kind of line it up. We're going to go from the top of this cup down to the V and then back up to the second cup tip, and then you're gonna break your I-cord. So to do that, you're gonna work into the slip stitch row ends here. So pick up 1 stitch here. Now you should have 4 stitches on the needle. Slide it down and then work 1 knit, 2 knits, and then the last one we're going to work as a knit 2 together like that. The following row you're going to work knit 3, then you're going to find the next slip stitch and then knit 1. Oops, through there. Oh my goodness, like that. And then you'll just proceed in this fashion where you work 1 row where the last stitch is knit 2 together, and then a regular row where you'll pick 1 up at the end. So you're just alternating between these 2 like that. Okay, so you're gonna just work all the way down to the V and then back up through here. If you're going to continue with applied I-cord. When you're done attaching applied I-cord here, you're going to break the yarn, and then we're going to work I-cord for whatever length you want the strap. For me, it's 12 inches. I am rather short and petite though, so for an average person, I would guess start around 13 inches for a size medium, and then you can kind of scale up or down from there. I'll give some recommended lengths after my testers tell me what length they preferred. So yeah, so you're going to work 12 inches of I-cord. Then you're going to leave the long piece of I-cord there. Oh, this is too stupid. After you have applied your I-cord all the way down to the V and back up, your work should look something like this. You should fasten off here instead of leaving it on the needles like I have it. I'm going to take this out for the next part of the demonstration, but this is what it will look like before you do this next part. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to need to work an I-cord that is the length of however long you want your straps. For me, I found it easiest to just cut 2 lengths of yarn that was roughly the size of the strap that I thought I wanted, and then I just tied it to the do the camisole with a slip knot in the front and in the back so I could try it on and then kind of adjust the length. Once you get the length how you want it on the strings, then you can measure that and then figure out how long you want your I-cord. For me, I used about 12 inches of I-cord for each of my straps. I am rather petite and I am working up a size medium. So, you know, you can scale your strap up or down. When I'm doing my I-cord, I do like to make sure that I'm giving it a little tug here and there, like that. It kind of makes the stitches lengthen out a little, and it is going to mimic how it's going to be when it's got weight of the garment hanging off of your body. So make sure that it's like nice and stretched out. Otherwise, the strap is going to grow while you're wearing it, and it's going to just get longer and longer, and your neckline is going to get lower and lower. So make sure that you're just giving a little tug here and there. Personally, I really hate making I-cords. So if you do have like a cord smith or whatever, definitely use that instead of this nonsense. Okay, yeah, go ahead and make like 12 inches of I-cord or however long strap that you ended up needing. Once your strap is whatever length, we're going to just pretend mine is. So once your strap is the correct length, you're going to come over here to the right as if you're wearing it cup. And you're going to just join it at the tip of the cup, kind of where you left off with the previous work. And then you're just going to continue to work your applied I-cord after you've got the strap. We're just going to work it the exact same as we worked the first side, where we pick up one extra and then knit them together, work to the end, and then pick up one extra. And then work this to the end. Knit two together is the last stitch. So it should look something like this. You should have the other I-cord sticking out here. I took it out. But yours will look like that, and then you'll just stitch it closed when you're finishing your ends. What you're going to do now is you're going to go around the entire length of the work, down here, all the way around with I-cord, 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 all the way up to here. When we get to the second cup, you're going to work up until you meet where the first I-cord was, and then you're going to go for the strap length the second time for your second strap. After that, I find it easiest to kind of hold this up to my body and pin it onto like my shirt, so that it's landing where I want everything to land. So I'll kind of just use a safety pin and safety pin onto my shirt, the work. Then adjust how I want the straps. If you need to lengthen or shorten anything, do that at that time, and then stitch them down. Then your work should be ready for you to try on and see how it looks. Next, I'm going to show you how to finish this garment with crochet. This is actually how I originally designed the garment, was to be with crochet. So if you do know how to do both, this is my preferred method of finishing. If you don't know how to do both, you might find a friend that knows how to crochet and see if you can barter some sort of a trade out of them. But it's really not too bad if you learn the basic stitches. This isn't a very complicated crochet pattern, so if you want to give a try trying to learn, that might be a good opportunity. So here's the work, same as before. I've joined the cups and I've worked a couple of inches in length after joining the cups. For this, I'm using a fingering weight yarn and a size G crochet hook. So when I start for crochet, I like to pick up right down here, right at the cast on edge here. What you're going to do is you're going to go into a stitch, yarn over, and then draw 2 loops through. We're just going to make half double crochets. So I just yarn over and then yarn over. And we're going to just go in each stitch of half double crochets. Oh, hush, William. We're just going to half double crochet all the way around the work one stitch in each stitch. You're gonna go around this edge up to the cups. When I get to the tip of the cup, I'm going to show you what I do. So get to that point and then I'll show you how we work the tip of the cup. All right, I have just finished working half double crochets all the way around the back edge and then up the left cup. I'm now ready to do the very top of the cup. So what I do is just yarn over, go into the stitch, and make 1, 2, 3 half double crochets. When I before I move on, I'm going to put a stitch marker in the center one, I guess the second one from the hook. That indicates to me where the center of like the tip of the cup is before I proceed down the other side of this. What that's going to do is later it's going to show us where we want our scallop to be. So go ahead and proceed after that. I'm going to work down to the center of the V, and then I'm going to show you guys what to do over here. So work down until you have about 1 or 2 stitches left here. Your work should look like this now. Sometimes the crochets look like they're constricting the work a little bit, but they'll block out okay. Unless you crochet super duper tight, in which case you might add an extra stitch here or there to make sure it doesn't get too tight. Okay, so I now have like 1 stitch before this kind of splitty area here. So I'm going to yarn over, go through the next stitch, yarn over, go through the base of the V, yarn over, oh William, hush, and then bring the last yarn over through. You should have like a whole bunch of stitches on here. Just yarn over and pull through all of them. That's going to help keep that V nice and tight. And then you'll continue up the next side of the cups. Repeat the shaping for the top of the cup, and make sure you mark that, the center of the peak of the cup as well. And then you're going to work back down to the beginning of the row. Just join it with a slip stitch. All right, I have just finished joining the round of my double crochets or half double crochet row. The work should look something like this for you. And then here's where I'm joined. So what we're going to do now is we're going to figure out where we need to start working our scallop stitches. So the scallop repeat is going to be a multiple of 4 stitches plus 3. So I'm going to count from here. So that's going to be stitch number 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could probably squeeze another. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I want to have 3 remaining stitches, which I have 2. So if you have it like that, that it doesn't work out exactly perfect, that's going to be how the vast majority of everybody's is going to be. So if it doesn't work out perfectly like that, you'll need to figure out where the stitch that you want to start on is. So we're going to count backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. When I get to this point, we're going to go to 1, 2, 3. That's our, multiple of 4 plus 3. I'm going to put a marker in that stitch. So that's going to indicate where my first of the repeat single crochet is going to be. So I'm going to turn the work. If you would like to have scallops around the entire length of the upper part of the work, you are totally welcome to continue in the round and just work scallops here. I chose not to do that on mine because I was trying to conserve yarn on the original one. So I'm going to show you how I did it on the original one. So I'm going to chain 1 and then just single crochet up to the marked stitch. That's the first single crochet of our repeat. You can take it out now. Okay, so if I've done the math right, fingers crossed, I should now be able to skip 1, half double crochet 5, or I mean double crochet, sorry, not half double. all in the same stitch. Then we're going to skip one and single crochet one. That's the repeat for the scallops. So it starts with a single crochet, yarn over, skip a stitch, and then double crochet 5 in the same stitch. All right, and then just keep going up until you get to the tip. So I have done the math right, so you guys should all be on the same track as well. Hopefully you should be ready to work a scallop into this marked stitch. So I'm going to take out the stitch marker. When we get to this one, instead of working 5 double crochets, we're going to work 7 just to help it turn this corner. And then we're going to continue down the work. All right, so I've worked from the tip of the first cup down to the V up to the second. You might run into the same trouble that I'm having right now, where your stitch pattern isn't going to work out to end up with the scallop perfectly right on the tip of the cup. In order to make it work out, I kind of just BS it a little bit. So for me, I'm just going to skip, instead of one stitch, I'm going to skip. Let's see. If I put one here, I'm going to skip one stitch here. And then I'm just going to put it in a single crochet in the very next stitch instead of skipping 2. And that'll kind of reset things. You might have to skip more stitches or less, depending on what's going on with your work. I like to then lay it out and make sure like I have the same amount on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. So see, I have one too many over here. Do I? Yes, I have one too many on this side. So I'm going to go back and redo mine and space them out a little bit more. It might take you a little bit of screwing around with it to get it to do what you need it to do. So feel free to take it out and go back. Or if you don't want to do that, then don't do that. That's also fine. Now at the tip, I'm going to put 7 stitches in this, 7 half or double crochets in here. All right, now I'm going to figure out, I'm going to do so that it matches on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do 4 scallops and then a couple of single crochets and fasten off, and that's it. I just work for this style, I just work an I-cord for the strap. For me, my strap length is about 12 inches. I'm about a size medium and I am rather petite, so an average strap length for a size medium might be closer to 13 inches. But make sure that you just cut some lengths of yarn, try it on, see what it looks like, see if that's a good length for you before you work your I-cord up. And then I'm gonna attach it right into the tip of the cup and then correspondingly around the back.